sur un tonneau et je chante comme un petit oiseau. Mais assez d'Annie Cordy. Et oui, bonjour YouTube. C'était Annie Cordy, Frida Papa. Évidemment tiré de la... Comment dire ça? Un remaster aussi? Est-ce qu'on parle d'un remaster pour les, les chansons qui ont subi un traitement numérique afin de, par exemple, gommer les imperfections? Très bonne question. Auquel on n'auront la réponse. Alright, it's game over time. Game over where I play 3 different games I never played before, and we'll see which one is our favorite tonight. I hope everyone's doing well tonight. The 3 games are going to be English only, so I'm going to be speaking mostly in English. Donc désolé pour les plus francophones, mais je ne vais pas vraiment vérifier avant de les avoir déjà installés, essayés et tout à fait. Ah non, pas tout à fait. Je n'ai pas encore lancé la génération, techniquement. Techniquement, les miniatures ne sont pas encore faites, mais non, Let's just be mostly English tonight, I guess. But I'll still switch in French from time to time. I mean, it's my mother tongue. What do you expect? Where was oh yeah, documents, and here we go to that subfolder. Got the generate thumbnail.sh. Really, bash scripts are wonderful when you're on Linux or Mac OS, I suppose, or OS X. I've never been a Mac person, but from what I understand, it's basically a really, really, really early fork. Like before Linux was a real thing, but the kernel was still having something. It's really blurry. I looked that up like 15 years ago, and I never did any refresher on it. So yeah. Tonight we'll start with the Henry Stickmin collection, which are like, do you all know Henry Stickmin, or is that too old? Like it was a collection of flash games featuring a stickman named Henry Stickmin, who does various things, like starting by trying to rob a bank, and we'll start with that. All right. Oh yeah, right. We need to configure that first. Windows. All right. So here we go. Window capture. And Henry Stickmin. Okay. It's a bit small, but can change that. And badam. Can we change the music volume? Options. Subtitles. Of course. Full screen. Well, I already set things for that, so it's a bit high. Here we go. Maybe it's a bit low now? Okay, I suppose that's a good balance. Alright, let's break the bank. The classics. So I completely forgot what's the correct path, so let's try things in any order. I guess the shovel is too logical, so it won't work. But it's a jump pack with references like that. Yeah, big fail. Never dig straight down. Reference to Minecraft. Throw explosives. Baba boom. Handle with care. Let's try teleporter. Yeah. It's emergent technology, I'm sure it will get better. Okay, the laser. Fail. Open sesame. Let's try the wrecking ball. There's no construction scheduled for today. Alright. So it's the disguise.
Eh? How did we lose one? I think we should throw it in the back, just to be safe. You ever wonder why there's a bank out here? Well, I think it's supposed to be like more of a vault, you know? Oh, that makes sense. Freeze! Don't move!
And so the story begins. Episode 1, Escaping the Prison.
Oh, you. You're free to go. Not really, but you've got a package. Don't get your hopes up. We've already checked it for anything useful, haven't we, Dave? What? Yeah, of course I checked it. I mean, if I didn't check it, I'd lose my job, and I don't want to lose my job. See you around. Free to go.
Right, let me change the strip category real quick. Okay, alright, this time it took it into account. Right, so let's try them one by one. Fine. The window on the cell door. Let's do the door directly. And that was fast. We've got the reflexes of statue. Hint, you can defend yourself by tapping the alert. Okay. Okay, so it's left, right.
Hey, he's escaping.
Belt of grenade or chair. I'm tempted by the chair.
Now, all in favor of more donuts in the break room, say aye. Aye. Nay. Shut up, janitor. You don't count. Now, the next job I'm on you. Get him.
Fatty. Alright. Yeah, but maybe it's the other direction. Nope. Oh, or maybe. You don't use your hands. Oh, he's not dead. All right. This seems awfully familiar. What if the item is not the item? I think that was just a regular backpack. See what happens when you assume. Sneaky escapist. All right. Well, let's try again. All right. So we did use the fire. What about the energy drink? It can start again at any time. Ah, okay. Heart attack. Allergies side effects include nausea, headaches, rapid heart rate, and possibilities of stroke and/or heart attack. Well, that's good to know. You just can't seem to get the hang of that thing, can you? One day it's going to work. I'm sure. Yeah, rocket launcher inside. Hey. Ooh. Way to aim, buddy. September 9, 12:53 p.m. District Court Courtroom number 4.
Witness, please continue your testimony. Okay. I was riding alongside my partner in the armored van, but suddenly she spotted a bag on the side of the road. We got out and eventually decided to throw the bag in with the others. We didn't know there was someone hiding in there. Objection! So, the defendant crawled into that bag in order to break into the bank. Is that correct? Is it not obvious? Is it really that obvious? I have proof that the defendant didn't hide himself in that bag. Well then, what are you waiting for? Present this evidence already.
Yes, the attorney badge. Let's get back for part of bang, mysterious device, clear footage, doctor's analysis. Doctor's examination of the defendant, don't have to arrest. The defendant suffered many bruises and cuts. The footage of the night of the intrusion shows the defendant leaving his disguise and setting off the alarm. A device whose use is unknown. A diagram of the bank and its surrounding. The bag the defendant used to sneak into the bank. The note is tied on the outside of the bag. Very important badge. It shows that I am a defense attorney. The note is tied on the outside of the bag.
Take that! Is that the bag the defendant hid in? Yes, but there's one thing that's been bothering me. If the defendant really was hiding in this bag, then how did he tie the knot from the outside of the bag? What? If he was inside the bag, it'd be impossible for him to tie that knot on the outside. But then, how did he do it? It's simple. He didn't. What are you saying? I'm saying my client wasn't hiding in that bag at all. He was stuffed in there. By this very witness! What? As you can see by this doctor's analysis, the defendant had taken quite the beating. While he was in the bag, he was unconscious. This is absurd. The witness was attempting to dispose of the body. He left the defendant in the bag, knowing he'd drive by it on the way back to the bank. When the witness and his partner passed the bag, he convinced his partner to throw the bag in with the others. But why would he do that? Why, to dispose of the body, of course. There are millions of bags of money in that bank, and the witness knew it would take a long time before the victim was found. But unfortunately for the witness, his victim woke up and tried to escape from his tomb. He was arrested on the spot, and the witness thought everything was over. But it's come back to haunt him now. You guys can't be happening to me! Well, that certainly was an interesting trial. However, I am now ready to deliver my verdict. I find the defendant, Henry Stickmin,
Rank lawyered up. Rank LU. Alright, let's get to the third ending. Voici Tato. You'll work through walls. Just move the blue slider to the right and you'll become an opaque. That means see-through forward beyond the default. As you want. Not only that, but the more opaque you get, the easier it will be for you to pass through solid objects. You think something like that would come up in the beta testing? Right. Right, so let's roll reference Vimeo. Okay. So yeah. Let's go left then. Get ready. Come on, you are so close. Okay, yeah. And everyone's just too scared. Rank badass best out. Yep, so I suppose it's really just the collection of the old Flash games with like all the little interface added to it to make it easier to track everything. But it's nice. I like it so far. It's a bit of a trip down memory lane, in a way. Ah yes, stealing the diamond.
As the mayor, I hereby declare the Tunisian archaeological exhibit open. Yes, thank you. Yes.
So best in or sneak in? Alright, we'll do both. So let's start with besting in. Jumping off a speeding vehicle might not be the best idea.
Whoa. We got a breach headed towards the medieval section.
Roger that. We're preparing to engage, over.
Right.
And after that, they just up and arrested him. Whoa, really? Yeah, that's when I decided I should probably get a different job. I figured night guarding is much less dangerous than driving a... Crap. No, Johnny! Officer down, repeat, officer down!
Yeah. Alright, so far so good.
Sir, place your hands where I can see them. If you do not comply...
And intruder on a scooter. Right, let's sneak in. Ooh. Jumble hoppers. Let's go. Sweet flip, bro. You're lucky, I've always wanted to go to space. Okay, this time it will work. Okay, maybe not. Maybe yes?
Oh, look, a penny.
Yeah. Let's go, wormhole rifle. What could go wrong? I'm not reading all of this. You can go check out the video on YouTube and stop if you're interested, or if you're on YouTube, just stop now if you want to read. Right? Of course. You had cut, where you no bleed. Cannon, cheese, or plank? It's not exactly what I thought would happen. You almost saved it. Almost. Why? Seriously? Alright, it's the plank.
And after that, they just up and arrested him. Whoa, really? Yeah.
Snake, diamond, rifle, jump. Frank, unseen burglar. Alright, where is the third ending? Because it's either in burst in or sneak in. But I'm gonna guess it's in sneak in, and instead of going up, it's going there.
Yeah, so apparently there's something in that cake, and he used it to escape. And then I got fired. Pretty lame, huh? Yeah, I don't really like this one.
Please, shut up.
Oh, I was just trying to have a conversation. I gotta warn some.
Acrobat, good ball, mushroom. What could go wrong? It's like they don't take kindly to orders. Yeah. I hate when that happens. How are they getting away with using the music though? Fail. And binary text. So again, I'll let you look that up if you want to know what it says. Ooh. I can't really call that an unseen burglar. So we're in the Southwest Center for Chaos Containment.
Sir? You might want to come look at this. I'm getting chaos readings at 10.6. It's coming from the museum.
My god. It's over 9?
Yeah.
I'm leaving this decision up to you, Corporal. Just hit one of those buttons to deal with this pressing situation.
Who's watching TV? Get back to work. Sorry, Chief. I'm going back to work.
Let's divide by 0. So he was in the bathroom. What did I mean? Where is everyone? Don't feel too bad. He probably camped for the 25 kilos he needed to get that new. Oh yes, for less chaos, let's send in a mecha... a giant robot, actually, yes. Wait, is that going to be a real end? Yeah. Rank, just plain epic. GPE. suppose we got time for another one. Let's go.
Well, look who finally decided to wake up. You've been quite elusive, but your skills make you worth the catch. You'll be perfect for the job. We've been having some issues with a group of thieves known as the Top Hat Clan. We know they're guilty, we just can't pin them to any crimes. You'll be going into the airship to bring them down. I don't need to remind you that we've got you on several charges. Attempted robbery, breaking yourself out of prison, even stealing a Tunisian diamond. We've got quite a lot of counts on you. Do this job right, and we'll drop all charges against you. Charlie here will be bringing you close to the airship. The rest is up to you. Find a way to bring him down, and you'll be a free man.
Hey, how do you want me to bring you in?
And I'm just changing the stream category. Done. And again, it did not take it into account. And it forces me to enter it twice. I hope it won't be a lasting problem, because it's inconvenient when the name is a bit wrong. Anyways, let's go. We won't do all endings for that one, because it's starting to get a bit late.
There's a guy down there, a bad guy, so, yeah. Good luck.
Yeah, I can't stand acid either.
Hey, good job there. Oh, so you should probably look for something incriminating. Something that we can use to prove that they're criminals, you know? I mean, the whole point of this operation.
Alright, gentlemen, we've been tasked with developing new weapons for the clan. Any ideas?
I was kinda thinking.
Right, so if we go up to 3 caliber... Hey, you there. What do you think you're doing? It's Smith, right?
What are you doing here, mate?
Your wife's just gone into labor. Take that escape pod behind you. It'll take you right to the hospital. Go ahead. Don't worry. I'll tell the chief.
Hey, oh, congratulations, happy Father's Day! I'm sorry, but it should count as a win, considering we got kidnapped to do a mission, and we could just escape. At the same time, for the continuity, I understand, because there would be like 2 timelines, the one where you escape and they're looking for you, and the timeline where you do the job. At the same time, I think there's an ending where you end up at the head of the top hat. Let's use the glue.
No, we can't do that.
Why not, man?
You do realize how much a solid gold cannon would weigh, don't you?
Dude, we totally got enough power.
What do you think, man?
Well, I'm still kinda new here, so I'm not really sure what to say.
Door's jammed again.
Oh, hey, you see that record sign? Where it says records? That'd probably be a good place to look, right? Let me just, help you get across that gap.
Huh?
Let's go with shards!
Alright, here I come. Da, 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 da.
Shard is here. Yeah, okay.
Alright, here it comes.
What's a car do?
I don't think that guy knows how to open the door. Yeah, why don't you let me take care of this?
Understands this.
Mind control.
Wow, this guy really is a moron. Can't believe he doesn't know how to open a door. Whoops.
Portraying another person is harder than it looks, okay? Ugh.
Oh man, I remember this. Good thing nobody knows about this or we'd be in a lot of trouble.
Boo! Oh, hello, Miss Master Spider.
Alright, you got some evidence. Whoa, wait. There's no way you're getting through there. Lots of guys and there's lots of guns. That's all I'm gonna say. It looks like you can get around if you go through that air duct. Alright, I've hacked into their power grid. What do you want me to do?
Let's reroute the power.
Reroute the power to a random room, that's fine. Alright, Henry, you're almost there. I'm right outside, so just open the bay doors and I'll get you on the chopper.
Hey, what are you doing? Yeah, we got a situation down in the cargo bay.
Banana. Powerful. Okay. Flashlight. Oh, that was bright. Yeah, no. You snooze, you lose.
Hey, there's a button on your earpiece. You should press it.
What's going? This could be a problem.
Right? Government supported private investigator. Right. That's gonna be all for today. Well, for this. Can we stick in connection, I mean? 4 endings. Ooh. I'm gonna go through all of that again, for sure. Like, it's just, it's silly fun. And quite dated now, but, I mean, it's good cheese. Anyways, bye YouTube, see you in the next one. As for us, Rebuild 3. I don't think I ever played the third game, but I played the first and maybe second one. So, let's see the third. As I said, it's going to be a kind of flash evening. It's launching. It's launching. And... Alright. What do we have there? Epic Sweetie Pie. Not seeing any setting for subtitles, and I think the volume is okay. Quite experimental. Alright, let's play the story. Beginning of the end. So begins my new life in Seattle, Washington. Now for fun day waiting for the cable guy to come connect the internet. We had a couple of TV channels, but all they're showing is news about that crazy biting disease in Amsterdam. Sounds like they finally got it contained. They send back, take a shower, and enjoy some me time. Right? Can we somehow make a colorful character? Like, what's the most... Considering those are more skin tones, is it okay for me to try to go for the yellow or the yellow furry character? Or should I stay with something, well, I think that's a good middle ground. Oh, okay. So those are the 3 options. So then, oh, about this torso, it's that. Okay. So the legs. Is there anything? No, not really. Yep. I think I know which one up. This one. And that's the closest I got to having like a mane and like some facial hair. Okay, job construction worker, building and half material cost, equipment, so gang member, plus defense and no happiness loss from death and injury, equipment shotgun, politician, leadership and 1 extra survival, equipment top hat, top plug, scavenging plus 25% better trades, equipment crowbar, doctor, plus engineering and minus 1 day to injury recovery, equipment doctor's bag, retiree, building and 10% happiness bonus, equipment hammer, police officer plus defense plus 1 from all guns, equipment pistol, priest plus leaderships, church, more devout survivors, equipment megaphone, hobo scavenging plus 5 housing space, equipment backpack, college students plus engineering, schools and bars 25% more expensive, equipment calculator. Okay. Having 1 extra survivor is really a game changer, so I'll go with politician. Containment failed. The internet guy never came. This morning I woke up to what I thought were protesters outside, but I was wrong. So very, very, very wrong. They're fighting in the street down there, their hands and teeth, just tearing into people. I saw a cop shoot a woman in the chest, covered in blood. She just got up and kept fighting. On the news, they're telling us to stay indoors. They keep opening emergency shelters, but every time something goes wrong and it turns into another bloodbath. This infection is spreading so fast. It's in Vancouver and San Francisco now too. They shut down the airports, but it's too late. It's too late. It's too late. It's too late. I ran out of ramen and soda by the time the TV cut out. It was finally quiet outside, so I took what survival gear I had and made my way out to the street. The last shelter they'd broadcast was 10 blocks away, the boys' private school. Made it halfway before I was attacked. It was so stupid. I don't know why I didn't have a weapon ready. I guess I thought I could outrun them, I mean, since there's zombies and all, but they're faster than they look. While I was struggling with one of them, a soldier ran up and pulled it off me. He shot it in the head. That stopped it, but it was too late. Too late. Too late. I was beaten. The soldier pulled me into a building and we waited there where the zombies wandered around outside. Then he saw my bite. He drew his gun and said he was going to make it quick. I knew what the bite meant. I had a day, maybe 2 to live. But I didn't want to die. I fought with him and the gun went off. I killed him. I killed a good man. He was straight to help and killed him. After Sergeant Hester's death, things got blurry. I slept beside his body, waiting for the fever to start, waiting to die, but he never came. I stuck my way out of town. I was worried there would be some repercussions for killing a soldier, but everyone was too busy to care. I've been working my way east towards my way east through the suburbs on foot, scavenging what I need and avoiding zombie and human alike. It's been 2 years since the outbreak. I've been keeping it to myself, moving from place to place. The few people I take up with seem to disappear or die before long. But I met this woman, Diane. She's different. She wants to stop running, to settle down and build something at last. I'm going to help her. Diane found us a small town up in the Cascade Mountains named Snoqualmie. Lots of food and supplies. Used. We found a couple of the survivors and walled off a few city blocks to start. No more living in fear, fighting like animals. It's time to make a stand. It's time to rebuild. So we'll change that name. because that's not easy to say. Truthfully, Portland, Surrey, Tomato Town. Let's go with Tomato Town. Easy, normal, challenging, hard, impossible. I don't even remember how it works. Like, it's kind of a management game, but let's go easy for a starter. That's the kind of interface I vaguely remember with all of the squares for like the tiles. And yeah. Suburbs and apartment buildings each have room for 2 survivors. We're full up, so we will need to reclaim or build more houses before we can recruit anyone else. Okay, reclaim 10 more buildings. Building outside the fort might contain food, supplies, and survivors, but there are also zombies lurking out there, so watch out! Drag a survivor into a building to send them on a mission. Farming here increases the yield. I think that starting with farms would be a good idea. Work survivors onto building to assign them to missions, stack expert survivors on to finish missions faster, and replace danger. Too many zombies. Already scouted. So scavenge or kill 4 zombies. Okay, go kill the zombies. You got stray zombies, stop them from becoming massed hordes, but until you reclaim the building, new zombies will just keep shambling back into it. Mission safer, kill 4 zombies. Right? 0% danger from surrounding zombies. Okay. 30 materials, 6 of 6 survivors, average 0 happiness per day. Every survivor learns 1 skill, leaders by leading, builders by building, and so on. Alright, you're a special Vinny, you can improve all 5 skills. Vinny Stelovich. Minuit. Here we go. Survival. Skills: level 1 soldier, level 0 scavenger, level 0 engineer, level 0 builder, level 4 leader. Ah, that's what it means. The green one is a builder, the red ones are soldiers. Level 4 soldier. Okay. Build. Guard duty. Protect adjacent building from zombies and other attacks. Replace this building with something else, cost material. Alright. So we can pause the resume. Okay, I think the previous ones had turns, and here it's in real time with pause. Okay. Idle but 1 even at stop. Ah, okay, that's the game speed time. Oh, you switch it to pause, you can play turn-based mode instead. So they do have a setting in case people want to play the old-fashioned way. I'm gonna try this way for now. Maybe a bit faster. There we go. Zombie skilled. Let's add this building to our fort faster with better buildings. The building is beside our fort and zombie free. It's safe to reclaim and extend our fort wall only. Builders will get the job done faster. Right? Zombie skill there. Me too. So we'll soon have 4 more reclaimed buildings. When they gather beside the wall, they turn into a dangerous masked horde. It will attack soon, so better post someone on guard duty beside it. Soldiers make the best defenders. %, danger from surrounding zombies. Okay. And 9 more buildings. Waiting for the other one to finish. Okay. Ah. What? That's what happened? Okay. That's definitely this building, but there are no mass zombies nearby to defend from. Drag this over to another building and design them into something useful. Pick or hide a stack of survival to spread them apart so you can select in videos. Wait, what? Who's that person? Okay. Defending against mass zombies is safer than attacking them. Good scavenging something. Because of now to see, yes. Okay. Zombie attack! 0% danger. Need to thank whoever's idea it was to cover our walls with old saw blades. They attacked today and took care of themselves with almost no help from us. Alright. It looks like we still alive. Good start. Remember, our goal here in Tomato Town is to grow to at least 15 buildings. Mission separate from zombies from massing to alive. Yep, let's start with that. Yep. And let's make that zone safe too. A good start. The 6 of us are starting to see some progress here in Tomato Town. We've reclaimed enough buildings that you can actually go for a little jog around the neighborhood. Think of that, running for fun, not for your life. Exercise, recreation, spandex running shorts. These are the things we're looking forward to. Farm reclaimed. Ooh, he went to level 3 with that. Nice. So... yeah. Let's reclaim. See that smiley face on the left? That's the average happiness of our survivors. If it's low, people might refuse to work, or worse. Churches, bars, and time of missions make people happier. Blood and ice cream. A pair of guys showed up at our gates today, and I think time is paused during those. With a shotgun on his back, the other were old guy with a cricket bat. They said they were a couple former cops who'd taken traveling the world after it ended, killing Zed and meeting interesting folks on the way. They cracked joke like there was nothing wrong out there but apocalypse, no end of the world. It was refreshing. They said they would kill for one of those old prepackaged ice cream cones if we had any. Was that a joke to you? Yeah. We got water. We got the feeling they had been looking for something stronger, but they still chugged down what we handed out. They said it was better than the stagnant puddles they drank from in the past war. After they finished up their drinks, they thanked us and headed out. There are 6 of us now, and our little chunk of Tomato Town is starting to be downright livable. It's almost big enough that we're going to need a proper government to run things soon. Other factions have their own forts here in Tomato Town, and they are not necessarily friendly. If they like us, they'll send trading convoys. If not, watch out for raiders. Gustav! A little man with a caravan full of trade goods just pulled up. He has a thick accent and an even thicker mustache. Greeting, my friend! I'm Gustav, peddler of the strange and exotic. Anything you need, you can afford it. You want thing, good deal, you come meet me at the suburb. It'll make, how you say, good business transaction. Okay. Oh, yeah. You. Let's kill the last zombie there. Oh. Danger. We can't hold them up for long. We need a plan. There's a lot of junk on leave. We could use our spare building materials to set up a quick barricade. We try distracting the Zeds with some food stores. Meat is meat after all. Let our defenders handle it. It was a rough fight, but they were no match for our muscle. Having a wall between us and them didn't hurt either. City on the grow. Now that we've grown big enough and people feel safe inside the walls, some of our old problems are coming back. Survivors are starting to bicker among themselves, complaining about the equality of food, demanding electricity and hot water and civil rights. It's time we built a city hall and set up a government. Something better than the old pre-infection one, a system that actually works. City hall has been added to the list of buildings we can construct. What's that? An office. We used to spend our lives in these offices, chained to desks, drinking cheap, watery coffee to keep from falling into a boredom coma. Let's build a city hall. Okay. Okay, so just in case, we got 2 defenders. The zombies are massing at our walls. They'll attack the weakest adjacent building soon. The attack at the bottom left shows how bad it will be. The fort edit mission. You're on duty. Build. Did that lose the progress? I think it did. Shoot. Policies have permanent effects for the fort after you chose them. They can be changed later on the government tab of the info menu. Stranger danger! We're not the only living people left in the city, but there's no telling how people we meet out there are going to treat our scavengers and soldiers. Sometimes they greet us with shouts of joy, sometimes with warning shots. Sometimes it may be best to shoot first. So how should we approach strangers? Open arms, caution, or hostility? I would say middle options. I've met people in the last 2 years who will just as soon kill me and take my stuff as have a conversation. I also had my life saved by a total stranger. We should size new people up cautiously before we invite them to the fort. We can change this policy later. We get a danger and success chance for a recruitment mission. I suppose that one would have been more success but more danger, the other less success but less danger. And here it's a good balance. Ooh. Here we go. City Hall complete. The flags on City Hall are snapping in the wind, the curved dome shining in the sun. We have to formalize our government by drafting a constitution for it. Everyone seems to agree that I'm the most suitable person to continue leading them, or at least nobody else has come forward saying they want the job yet. So what sort of government am I going to lead here? Let's start the constitution. Our highest priority. We need to determine the basic driving force behind society in Tomato Town. Ideology will determine how other factions see us and have subtle effects on our daily lives. We will focus on growth, on the military, on religion, or wealth. What is the highest priority? Repopulating the world, keeping people safe, providing a religious moral center, or trading and prospering. So keeping people safe. Rock the vote. There are still tough decisions in Tomatoton's future, and people's lives may depend on the outcomes. Not everyone's cut out to have that kind of weight on their shoulders. And quite frankly, some fail to see the big picture and consider the greater good. Having one leader call out all the shots will make it easier to get things done, but so much power can corrupt a person. Our people would rather elect a senate to do the voting, but they may be prone to infighting, so who should vote? Leader chooses policies, leader and senate pick policies, or all survivors vote on policies. I mean, there are few people enough for this to work. This is obviously the easiest choice from a gameplay perspective. So, suppose the middle one again. The question of private property is a sensitive issue in Tomato Town. Some people wish we'll just leave them and their stuff alone. They wonder why we need so many laws and regulations to enforce what decent folks do naturally. Others think the government should collect and distribute all goods, everything shared and distributed to those who need it the most. That might work on a small scale, but can we run a society on those principles? How much power should our government have over our resources? Some shared, some private. How do we decide who gets the best apartment or who gets luxury goods like tea and peanut butter cups? Sometimes there's only so much to go around. And I know we are equal, but maybe some of us are more equal than others. If you don't give doctors better food and nicer houses, maybe nobody will want to be one. But if a doctor's kids grow up in a nicer house eating better food, they'll have more energy to stay hard and become doctors themselves. Is that fair? So who gets the best stuff? Randomly assign luxuries. Crime and punishment. We need a policy for how we deal with criminals. I'm not talking like that jerk who borrowed my lighter but now insists he found it in an 812 last month, and though we both know damn well that he stole it from me. Anyway, I don't mean him. I mean the people who break the foundations of our ethical code, murder, treason, unthinkable crimes. How harshly should they be punished? Should they be rehabilitated? Jailed? Or is that wasted effort in a world where every bite of food matters? Capital cannibal punishment. Kick them out of the fort, put criminals in jail, or take away their luxuries. So, if we're talking murder, treason, unthinkable, in this world, kicking them out is the fairest, I would say. It's a dog-eat-dog world out there, both literally and figuratively. We've got to draw the line somewhere between us and them, between cutting off all contact with the outside world and giving our storeroom keys to the next guy who comes by asking for handouts. We've also got a burgeoning national identity to consider. If we let just anybody join us, would they have the same ideals and values? Would they take our jobs in our place in society? Or will more immigrants make us bigger and stronger? Take care of our own, help our allies, help anyone who needs it. To help our allies first. We'll be a military republic. Survivors are already campaigning for Senate seats, but we're limiting the time and resources they can spend on their campaigns, so they still get some actual work done. Elections will be held by single transferable vote. Every man, woman, and child will know how to cock a rifle and aim for the head. Those who choose to guard our lives with theirs will be revered as heroes. If any outsider threatens our dominance over Tomato Town, we will answer with war. And finally, what will they call me? General, commander, president, or something else? I will say commander, because I'm giving the commands. We're organizing a celebration for Tomato Town Day, which we'll remember every March 23rd. I had a brain fart here. From now on, we now have a solid social code to match our solid walls. As the Lone Ranger used to say, my work here is done. Time to gather the posse and move on to the next Llama ranch or whatever. on the road to the next town that needs saving. We can start a new mission to leave the city from the city hall. I'll go and I can take up to 4 others with me. The rest need to stay here and keep the place together. Alright. And I think it's going to be that for this game. Because it's already 6:11, so yeah, time to go to the last game. But it's not the last time I'm playing this one. They clearly added a lot compared to the Flash experience I remember. Like, this feels really polished, and not just a Flash game that someone put a lot of care and love into, but like a professional production. So yeah. What was I saying? Yes, the third game. So bye YouTube, see you in the next one. As for us, I forgot the name and I cannot read. The Westport Independent, which reminds me of a Flash game I played a long time ago by, oh god, I will butcher their name, but yeah. They made games that were not just like entertainment, but let you think about some stuff. That's a very bad definition of what they did. But you will see what I mean as soon as the game launches. Ah, here we go. The description will see it better. A game about censorship, corruption, and newspapers. And the game launched like way too big. Way too big. Like it launched in 1440p, but I got a 1980p screen. And I don't have a maximize. Oh. Wait, let's go back. Ah, settings. Full screen of resolution. 2088 by 1620. What's that? Why? Alright. I think 720p will be good. And let's change in the talking screen before we switch to it. Little okay. And here we go. Ta-da! Way better. Like it's actually visible. So let's start. Slot 0. The game will be saved automatically between each week. Do I need to click? Oh, okay, I need to click. This is a work of fiction. Names, characters, group, businesses, places, events, and incidents are either the products of the author's imagination or used in fiction. Any resemblance to actor, person, living or dead, or the usual. Like, do I really? Did I need to read it out loud? Everyone knows it. Like, that's how movies start, when it looks like real events, or they really just want to not take a chance. So, yep. I forgot to change the stream category, so the Westport Independent. Done. It's classified as a simulation game. Interesting. Okay, can I... Maybe I need to start again. Yep, I'm just going to start it, restart it. Let's go. Because I could hear a voice, but it was drowned. Do I need to put them like this, and then the voice will be like audible? Yeah. Okay, let's retry. Okay, so no. I guess the mix is just extremely bad. How about now?
The following is an instructional film about the Public Culture Bill for all independent newspapers in Westport. Throughout this film, we will answer various questions you may have regarding both preparations for the bill and the bill itself. What is the Public Culture Bill? The Public Culture Bill is a new bill that will come into force May 16, 1949, and has been created to improve the quality of independent media outlets. The bill contains certain guidelines for independent media outlets to follow that will make it easier to create media products of utmost quality. In order to make sure that everyone follows these guidelines, the bill will create a government-driven union called the Loyalist News and Media Association that will be mandatory for independent media outlets to join. What's your responsibility until the bill comes into force? Introducing a new bill takes time. Therefore, until the Loyalist News and Media Association is properly set up and the bill has come into force, the Loyalist government has created temporary guidelines for you to follow. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of our country. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of the Loyalist government. Do not print deceitful content that may harm the appearance of the President. And do not print deceitful content that may glorify the acts of rebels or other criminals. Do print content that strengthens loyalty towards the government. Do print content that inspires morality in the public. And finally, do print content that heartens propriety in our society. The Loyalist government expects your cooperation in this matter and hopes you understand the consequences of disobedience and or affiliation with disloyal members of the public. How do I remove improper content from my paper? First, drag an article to your desk. Second, read through the articles and look for fallacies. Third, cross over paragraphs that do not fit with the government guidelines. Fourth, give your article to journalists so that they can transcribe it. Make sure that you only give them an article you have fully edited, as mistakes can be quite devastating. That is all for this instructional film. Remember that the guidelines presented during this film are for media outlets in Westport only, and is not to be shared with the public.
So yeah, very Papers, Please-esque. You've got mail. Dear editor, Bill has been putting up more loyalist propaganda in the office. You know I can't stand this shit, so I decided to put it down. It should be on your desk together with this note, right? Loyalty, morality, and propriety. These are the bases of a civilized society. Twitter article censoring. The game's main mechanic in censoring articles. You do this by clicking on areas that seem inappropriate. When censored, the content won't be shown to the public and will affect neither the opinion nor the government's suspicion of you. You can also change the headline by clicking on it. Different headlines can change the portrayal of an article. Welcome to the extraordinary and amazing soon-to-be-gotten winner, the Westport Independent. Known for having doubtful opinions of the government. Went to community college, worked abroad for freelance. Lived by the Eastern factories, married, went to community college. No college education, lived by the Eastern factories, opposed the loyalists before they came into power. Lived with disabled brother, went to private college, lived in Western District. Loyalist supporter. Known for having doubtful video. Is alone, parent. Employees. This part is about your employees. When you censor an article, it needs to be transcribed. To do this, put it in one. The employees all have different opinions and they'll be discussing how you run your paper. They also have their lives to protect, so don't blame them if they don't wish to follow you into death. Oh. Yeah, right. Okay, yeah, I understand more the thing. In my head, it was reversed, like the dark and light part. Louis' government pursues harsher action against suspected rebels. Louis' government attacks the privacy of civilians. Loyalist government pursues harsher action against suspected rebels. Louis' government attacks the privacy of civilians. A new reform has passed that will hasten the arrest of rebel supporters. The reform confers exceptions in various privacy laws allowing police to expedite search warrants. Most of these exceptions apply to ex-criminals in relation to the rebels. However, some exceptions also apply to civilians who have expressed disloyal opinions against the government. New bill has been passed, forces independent media outlets to shut down. The public culture bill that the government presented last year has today been passed. The purpose of the new bill is to stop the creation and distribution of corrected and improper content. It will force independent media outlets to either shut down or join the new government-funded union called the Release News and Media Association. Voilà. Let's send that to print. You know, I've never been a big fan of the loyalist government, but the public culture bill is even worse than I expected. Don't blame it on the government, blame it on yellow journalism and the blatant lies that some newspapers post these days. There's nothing good about a misinformed public. Well, yeah, sure, but you realize how much power the government will have over the media with this? I will be frank on this one. I can't see how the public culture bill would be beneficial for anyone but the government. While media outlets like ourselves have a scary amount of power over people's opinions, but on the other hand, I don't think that giving that power to the government is a great idea either. Eleven weeks left until the public culture bill comes into force. So northern suburbs, popularity, Western District, Eastern Factories, and Southern Docks. Opinions. With those symbols. This bar illustrated your sales last week. Ah, nice. The container represents the people of that district. The light bar, you said so many of those papers that were sold. The more you sell, the more popular you get. So the more popular you get, the more papers you can distribute. People's opinion will affect your sales as well. Likewise, a well-selling paper will also affect the people's opinion. Yeah, there's no real indication. Like popularity, it's a clear thumbs down or thumbs up, but like a shield with wings, or maybe is that a rupee with wings? And what's that? Is that like a, I don't know, a beanie hat with paint coming out of it? First political opinion. Plus 6 rebels. Loyalist substitution of you. Plus 19. Your paper's total popularity. Plus 18. You've got mail. There is nothing more heartbreaking than a misguided public. In a world controlled by the media, the loyalist government will stop at nothing to protect the people from frivolous lies and irresponsible gossip. Public culture bill is for your protection. Okay, we cannot send those into print. Mercury found in fish from the southern dock. Fish from the southern docks could kill you. Mercury found. This morning, a shipment of fish from the docks was found to contain a dosage of mercury exceeding the national guidelines. Viewed as a potential hazard, the shipment was confiscated. Medical officials, however, confirmed that the dosage is still below lethal amount. The public is advised to avoid purchasing fish from the southern docks. I mean, that's important info. Movie star in minor car accident. Unemployment rise. Unemployment has skyrocketed during the last few years. More and more people are left with the jobs. A new study shows that currently around 37% of the population are unemployed. 30% of the working population do not make enough to support their families. Also, there are the inhabitants of the southern docks, where unemployment is at around 43%. Here, she does not want to write it. Okay, so I guess no one wants to write about unemployment. Government adds untested substances to drinking water. The Department of Sanitation announced today its intention to add fluoride to the water supply, due to research showcasing the substance's ability to reduce chances of cavities. As research on fluoridation is still ongoing, this will make Westport one of the few places in the world to adopt it. We're going completely anti-government in this run. People left homeless after fire. A fire erupted last night in an apartment complex between the southern docks and the western district. During 2 hours to the blaze, 42 apartments were damaged to the point of being uninhabitable. The survivors have had to move in with friends and family as the city is yet to provide aid. We star in minor car accident. We star crash car lives with a scratch. Unknown movie star Harold Finn suffered an accident yesterday evening by crashing his car into a streetlight. The accident resulted some dents to the front of the car. The streetlight was knocked down. Mr. Finn was left unscarred by the accident. You wonder. So I can't write an empty article. They really don't want to write about unemployment rising, even heavily censored. Alright, let's send that to print. But I think I'll be staying off seafood for a while. We couldn't have had worse timing either. We just bought 8 pounds of fresh fish that we now have to throw in the trash. Well, to be fair, anything that has actually managed to survive in the river thus could probably outlast the hydrogen bomb. Yeah, I've heard that workers at the factories are told to dump whatever waste they can find in that river. I've noticed some of the factories around our apartment look and smell even worse than the southern dock sewers. Week 2. 10 weeks left until the public culture bills comes into force. You've got mail. Dear editor, as you're probably aware by now, when we were finally able to stop the notorious Northern Herald from spreading their lies to the public, we were also forced to shut down their affiliated marketing agency. As so happens, your paper, the Westport Independent, used the same agency. This means that from now on, you'll have to take care of advertising yourselves. Additionally, because of your affiliation with the perpetrators, we'll be keeping a close eye on you for the time being. The Loyalist Party of Westport. Most respected editor, I'm contacting you as the agent of renowned movie star Harold Finn. I read one of your articles last week and I noticed an error. Mr. Finn did not leave the crash site in question with the scratch. He's not a superhuman, and claiming him to be would be outrageous. In fact, he received a bruise on his left knee. It may not affect his ability to walk, but I'm sure it hurts quite a bit. Thank you for your time. Pauline Grubsneck, Actors and Agents of Westport. If they do something good, we also need to tell it. Rebels suspected of attempted bombing of government offices. Police prevents attempted bombing. Yesterday, a bomber was prevented from arming a large supply of explosives outside a government office. This occurred in a small van parked outside the building. The perpetrator was caught by a security guard who found the van suspicious. A local rebel group are believed to be behind the incident. We need to add that. Price of fruit vegetables expected to rise this year. A harsher economic crisis ensures as the prices for food skyrockets. A recent report predicts a stark increase in the price of root vegetables this year. It claims that with last year's poor crops and this year's drought, a scarcity of fruit vegetables is expected this year as well. It's also expected to increase the demand for other foods, affecting those prices as well. The Public Culture Bill claims its first casualty. today, after almost a century of publication, the popular magazine The Northern Herald released its final issue. Its sudden dismantlement was due to violation of the guidelines set up in preparation of the Public Culture Bill. The paper's makers, which were responsible for advertising several of Westport's old independent newspapers, was also shut down. People of the West protest drug-funded casino. First legal casino in the Western District. Today, construction broke ground on the new Heure casino in the Western District. The Heure will be the first legal casino in Westport and will bring a lot of new jobs to the city. Protests recently hit the site due to the owner's affiliation with the Vile Rags gang. The protest was broken up by security and the allegations have not been addressed. The localist will happily write about that. Here we go. Proceed to layout? Oh! Pick articles from here and drag them to an empty page in the paper. Put on the right half of the paper to turn to the next page. Marketing. Excited to change your marketing focus between the different districts. Eastern factories and southern docks. Over the Belges to get info about the district, the preferred articles. Belge. Okay, I think that's a good mix because those two got 2 each. And the eastern factories are where the industrial is slightly below the prime, so it's maybe a bit too much of a big difference. I don't know. Those two only got 1, so way less. Let's try that like this. Let's try this like that. Did you catch the game last night? Yeah, I caught it on the radio. That last goal was brilliant. Me and my husband were shouting at the top of our ears when they won. Did you catch the game, Julie? Oh no, sports are not really my thing. Really? I did not know there was anyone in Westport who wasn't keeping up with the finals. Honestly, I don't really need to follow the game to keep track of how it's going. I just need to open a window during a game night and all the shouts will tell me how the game went. Week 3. Until the Public Culture Bill comes into force. 9 weeks left. Eesh. Plus 20 again. Got mail. Dear editor, one of your employees, Julie, has for the last few weeks created content for your papers that can only be described as disloyal. Her frivolous behavior on jumping from nest to nest has made her lose sight of her roots. Her naive mind will be taught the position she is in. Not punishment will fall on both our heads. The race party of Westport. Later, one of your employees, Frank, has recently written quite a few questionable articles for your paper. We expect you to show your paper proper discipline in order to prevent events such as these, especially since the regarded employee has a history of destroyed behavior. You'll do well to remember that reluctance in this matter will reflect poorly not only on your employees, but on you as well. The Loyalist Party of Westport. So it's Julie and Phil. People arrested for protesting. We want to renovate housing in the southern docks. Okay, that's the government should like that one. Wants to renovate, expected that the renovation will greatly increase, and we clean up the docks. Expect that the higher rent will force the poor inhabitant to leave. Here we go. Yeah, it's really good. Here should be. Child murderer, midwife arrested for attempting to aid minor with unwanted pregnancy. Child murderer, why midwife arrested? Oh no! Oh no! No! New law to combat illegal workers. Government revoke employment for people born outside of Westport. The Parliament passed a new law to combat the rise of illegal immigration. It will require all workers to supply Westport social security number before being hired. Employers will also be charged for employing refugees of citizens lacking citizenship. Please, I cannot bring myself to write this article. What's wrong with it? Okay. Suppose I can force him once? Okay, people arrested for protesting. 20 people were arrested in a protest near Wembley Park. It was against the public culture bill, which will come into force. The situation took a violent turn as the protesters resisted arrest by a ring officer, because seized after police backup arrived. And it's factual. Multiple industrial giants with a connection to violent gang. Former author turns protest. Perpetrator starts cult. Perpetrator has gained some news popularity by claiming to have unlocked psychic powers. Offering to share his secrets for a prize, the author has opened a new institute in his home. This is due to his claim that his power can only be used inside his home. He has already received several applications from the people of Westport. Okay. There we go. Marketing. Oh, this time it's more like this. Making news for the greatest hero. Whispering for social news every morning, every day. Westport Independent. Okay, so it changes the logo. Is it the logo? Technically, depending on like the marketing strategy. Interesting. get straight like this. My son is having his first day at school today. Don't they grow up fast? I wouldn't know. I'm too busy taking care of my brother to even think about having a child. Well, Frank is close enough to a child. Hey, don't bully me just because I'm not an old raisin like yourselves. You're just a couple of years younger than the rest of us, you know? Physically, at least. Hey! 8 weeks left. Okay. Plus 1 still. You've got mail. Respected, it has recently come to our attention that your paper, the Westport Independent, seems to have problems understanding the guidelines provided by the Roy's government in advance of the introduction of the Public Culture Bill. We assure you that these guidelines are absolute, and if your paper continues to neglect them, countermeasures will be taken. The Royalist Party of Westport. Trust in numbers, not in government. In a world where information is controlled by those in power, trust should be put in the people, not in the authorities. Join the rebellion today. Workers against oppressors, numbers against class. Join the President's birthday celebration. The annual celebration of the President's birthday is here. Join us at the parade by Liberty Square. Cult in the West disbanded. I need to drink some water. Alright. So, cult in the West disbanded. Psychic visionary taken out by government. This morning, police broke into the Roberts Foundation, arresting author Peter Roberts. Trial with suspicion of kidnapping and treason, Roberts has been brought in for questioning. Additional charges include suspicion of fraud. Just like the prophet predicted, the hour is nigh, stated one of Roberts' followers. Yeah. Preparation for the present birthday will swing. Of course, though, there are 12 million. Okay. Movie star divorce 8th wife. Movie star ruins another marriage, divorcing his wife. The new movie star Harold Finn has once again divorced. Marriage lasted for 2 years, making it one of the star's longest lasting relationships. So far, the divorce proceedings have costed about $3 billion. Belges drunken brawl leaves several people injured. More brawl in the Western District. Last night, a fight broke out at a bar in the Western District. The fight involved 6 people who came to a ceremony where all heavily intoxicated. Knives and broken bottles were used, leading 4 was involved with minor injuries. Fight soon stopped, the police arrived, who arrested the offenders. Here we go. New hard-boiled stories every day. This is clearly the most important. That one I think is better than just celebrity. Something like that? Yep, let's go. how do you plan on spending your day during the prisoner's birthday? I don't really know. I don't really plan joining this celebration, so I guess I'll just stay at home. Me and my husband are taking my son to see the parade. I also plan on stopping by the parade. It's going to be held not too far from my apartment after all. Seven weeks left? Come on, come on, come on, you gotta like me now. -2, okay. Plus 3 loyalist, oh no's. You've got mail! One of your employees, Anne, has shown quite a rebellious attitude in her writing for your paper. While she has no history of disloyal behavior, her recent action has led us to consider taking this matter into her own hands. Her disciplining is in order. Okay. The other one. Most respected editor, I'm contacting you as the agent of renowned movie star Harold Finn. I'd like you to point out that there was a small error in your article last week. It's not a fact the relationship Mr. Finn had with his ex-wife was not his longest. For his longest relationship to last only 2 years would be quite embarrassing. Rather, his longest relationship was with his third wife, which lasted an entirety of 28 months. Thank you for your time. Alright. And it's 6:52, so I'm going to stop at that. It's quite a lovely game. Yeah, I am going to finish that one. Like, it's not very long. I don't think I will do a lot of runs on it, but yeah, 1 or 2. So, yeah, thanks for joining in. I'll see you next Thursday for another game of Verre, ou bien mardi prochain pour un mardi. Who knows? So, see ya. Bye bye.